Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the greatest fictitious college football show in the world. Yes, in the world, Craig. That's what we're talking about. Today, we got an exciting episode of the Gridiron, but first and foremost, I am the Midnight Rider. This is a Sideline Junkies podcast network production. What we're going to do today is we're going to bring you weeks 4 through 6. We haven't finished week 6, but weeks 4 through 6, the results from the teams that users have in our NCAA College Football 25 ball game. And with that being said, we also have a great segment at the end of the show called In the Fan Zone. And in the Fan Zone, we're going to break down this week's top user versus user game, which was Penn State versus Maryland, which kicked off week 6 for all the user-led teams. Again, I'm the Midnight Rider. This is the Gridiron. It's the world's greatest fictitious college football show in the world, Craig, in the world. So let's kick this off by we left you last week. I think in the fan zone last week was looks like it was another Penn State game. Maybe this was Penn State Notre Dame. I'll double check in the commercial break. Yes, it was Penn State Notre Dame because the flea flick is on here. So that was our game of the week last week. This week we have Penn State versus Maryland. Very exciting ball game. Ball game where it seemed like the team that had the ball last was on the team that ended up winning the ball game. But we had some wrinkles in there. And we're going to give you a very in-depth look. We're almost going to go possession by possession on this ball game, giving you just reactions because I watched it early this morning. I got the tape delay. Couldn't watch it live. But great ball game. That's all I'm going to say. And with that being said, let's walk you in to the beginning of week 4. Now, some of these scores are going to be crazy. I see why the guys have made and added some wrinkles because the scores are getting out of hand. And with that being said, let's start week 4 with the Colorado Buffs playing against the Memphis, I think it's the Memphis Tigers, if memory serves me correct. In this ball game, actually, the Colorado Buffs got blown out in this ball game. I'm sorry. I think the next slide is the slide where the game's get out of hand. Memphis 45, Colorado 7. 282 yards worth of offense from Memphis, 181 out of Colorado. The run game is where Memphis killed them, 142, 4 touchdowns, averaging 10.14 yards per carry. Colorado couldn't get his run game started, 20 yards on 16 carries, 1.25 yards per rush. Passing yards, Memphis had 140, but when you get 142 on the ground, averaging 10, you don't need much else. You don't need much help. Passing yards for Colorado is 161. Third down efficiency, 2 for 5 for Memphis, and then 3 of 9 for Colorado. Colorado struggled ever since Sanders has left, and I wonder if it's a developmental thing when it comes to their quarterback play. But we'll see if they recover from this loss with the rest of the season, how everything plays out. The next ball game up is USC taking on Penn State. Penn State 28, USC 21. Looks like Penn State had to come back being down 7 early. They tied it up to go into the half, and then they scored 2 touchdowns in the second half to take the game away or pull away. It looks like we had 352 yards total offense for USC, 77 rushing yards and 2 TDs for USC, and 275 yards passing. On the Penn State side of the ledger, Penn State with 343 yards, 161 coming via the ground game, 3 TDs. And we got to talk about Mr. Cantwell when we get to Penn State later on in this show. 182 yards passing, 4 for 4 on third down. That always keeps the drive going. Penn State looks like we're just moving the ball, getting it done, baby. And here we go. Here comes the craziness. University of Maryland, 63, Duke 10. Duke had 9 yards rushing, 133 yards total, and then 142 yards passing. Talk about domination. And here come the Terps in that explosive offense. 530 yards total offense. Only 33 came on the ground. Yes, you heard me. 33 of 530 came on the ground with one touchdown. And in this, we got to talk about Mr. Bettis. Mr. Bettis is the truth. 497 yards passing. 3 for 5 on third down for the Terps. The Blue Devils 2 of 10 on third down. This looks like just an old-fashioned I'm gonna beat the tar off of you type of ball game. Maryland goes into the half up 35-10. They finished the ball game on a 28-0 run. That's how we end up with 63-10. Wow. Next up in week 4, we have the Alabama Crimson Tide going against the Texas Longhorns. The Tide drops 48. The Longhorns have 7. We get 349 yards total offense from the Tide. Texas only gives you 108. Wow. This is domination again. 202 on the ground, 4 TDs. Meanwhile, Texas only got 10 yards on the ground. Yikes. Passing game, we got 147 from Alabama, 118 from Texas. I'd love to see what the turnovers were, because with 4 touchdowns, I don't think Alabama had long fields to go. Alabama, by the end of the third quarter, were up 28-7. Tacked on another 20 in the fourth quarter. That's where I think the turnovers may have came in. Turned it into a 48-7 ball game. Alabama's ranked number 1. They're the reigning, defending, undisputed champs in this league. And here we go. Another sign where they're making it happen, man. Here we go again. We got another ball game. Oh, geez, Jimmy. Whew. Jimmy got soul. Jimmy got offense. The Oregon Ducks, 84. The Iowa Hawkeyes, 7. Oregon with 603 yards of total offense. Iowa with 125. Passing yards were 197 for Iowa. Rushing yards were 72. No touchdowns. On the ledger where Oregon is, whew, my God. We got 133 yards rushing, 2 TDs, 470 yards passing. Now, they were 3 of 7 on third down, but the caveat is they were 4 for 4 on fourth down, which is crazy, which is ludicrous. So that was week 4 in a nutshell, and we're going to jump right back into it. We're going to take you into week 5 of this NCAA 25 college football series by the Sideline Junkies. Again, if you want to get in, please feel free. We got space. We have options. Only thing we ask is you put the games on YouTube. Live broadcast. That way you can't go back and reset the ball game, or you can't, like, if you're losing, you throw interception, you can't reset the game. Everything's live, open and honest, up front. Like we always say every week on this show, if you want the smoke, we got the cigar and the lighter. And with that being said, let's jump in to week 5. Week 5, we have Oregon being totally and brutally disrespectful to the Arkansas State Red Wolves, or whatever. I think they're the Red Wolves. 113-0. The crazy stat in this ball game, and you guys see it on the screen. And if you like me and you older, you got to take your glasses off because you can't see things like this without taking your glasses off. But Arkansas State has minus 28 yards of total offense. They have 86 rushing yards. But somehow, I guess because of the sacks, it ends up being negative 28 yards. Now, here's where the fun part of this comes in. They have 86 yards rushing, 58 yards passing. With all the sacks, they end up at minus 28 yards. If that doesn't sound like domination, I don't know what domination is. On the other side of the ledger, Oregon, 500 yards total offense, 124 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 376 yards passing. Arkansas State was 0 for 14 on third down. It's like he told Arkansas State, go outside, Find a branch, bring it back to me, because you know what you did. And Arkansas State went out there and found the smallest stick it could at first. And he was like, oh, that's how you want to do it? And he went out and got his and put a whipping on them. Arkansas State probably can't sit down for the next couple of weeks here the way that whooping took place. With that being said, let's transition over to the Colorado State Buffaloes and Oklahoma State. And here we go. Looks like the kid from Colorado found something. I don't know what he found, but he found his offense. And maybe he just eased on down the road, but scoring 61-0 over Oklahoma State. Total offense, 416 yards for Colorado. Oklahoma State had 110, 194 yards on the ground, 5 TDs. That's where it is. Whoop, there it is. That's where he found his offense. He found his running game this week. 222 yards through the air, only 73 for Oklahoma State. He converted his third downs 2 for 2. Oklahoma State was 1 for 10. So that's where we see the advantage come in for the Colorado Buffaloes. And with that being said, we got to give kudos to the coaching staff at Colorado. Coming off a tough loss to Memphis a week earlier, 45-7, to rebound, get your guys together, get your team together, and come out with this type of showing. Totally amazing. Totally amazing. With that being said, I guess we end the triumvirate this week, because the next ball game up is the number 3 Notre Dame Fighting Irish against TCU. And they decide to get loose. 58 points for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to nothing for TCU. 402 yards worth of total offense. TCU managed 36. This is utter domination. 272 on the ground for Notre Dame, 2 touchdowns. We got 130 passing yards, 5 for 5 on third down for the TCU Horned Frogs. Jesus. 36 yards of total offense, 9 rushing yards, 27 yards passing, 1 for 9 on third down. Yeah, that's not good offense at all. Tough day at the office for the Horned Frogs and their fan base. With that being said, the next ball game up, week 5, the Alabama kid, the kid with the helicopters, baby. The kid with the big bucks. He comes out, he drops 106. That's not a typo, folks. He scored 106 points. Oklahoma has minus 11 yards total offense. So right now, this kid is giving up negative 39 yards in 2 weeks of football. I'm going to say it one more time. I'm going to say it slow. Negative 39 yards in 2 football games. And the Oklahoma Sooners are ranked 24. Prior opponents, the Texas Longhorns. This is a Red River tail whooping type of thing. He's got 446 yards of total offense, 182 yards rushing, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 touchdowns on the ground this week. 264 yards passing, 2 for 2 on third down. And then Oklahoma was 1 of 13 on third down. That's crazy. Like, this kid is putting in work on defense. I would love to see the stats, and I got to get in there. I got to talk to the boss, but I want to see total team stats next week in terms of defensive rankings and offensive rankings, because Alabama and Oregon have been doing some totally disrespectful stuff the last couple of weeks. I mean, you guys are looking at the stats just like I am. This is crazy work he's putting in. And with that being said, real quick, folks, again, like I've said before, we're at week 5. We're about to go into week 6. We got a couple games start week 6. But before we move forward beyond that, let's take you through a real quick look at the top 25 as of week 5. And with that being said, let's get right into it. So we have Alabama 1. That's a user team. Number 2 is Oregon, user team. Number 3, Notre Dame, user team. Number 5, Maryland, user team. Where's Penn State? Penn State wasn't ranked. They had an early loss. And then Colorado. So that's all we're missing right now. We're at 6 teams. Again, like I said before, folks, you want to jump in the league, all we ask you to do, show the game on YouTube or Twitch. we're not doing it so we can steal your plays or anything like that. We just want to see the bowl games. This is all entertainment for us. We sit around sometimes, and I'll call the big guy KG, or I'll go through What's Up app, and we'll talk about a game as we're watching it. We look at this just like we're viewing something else. It's just another sporting event. And with that being said, if you want to join in, like we say before, and we always say, if you want the smoke, we got the cigar and the lighter. We can make it happen. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in to week 6, because we got a big breakdown in the fan zone for you on one of the matchups in week 6. So here we go. Week 6 starts off Oregon being disrespectful again, 56-7 over Wisconsin. 463 yards of total offense to 29 from Wisconsin Badgers. 101. Wait a second. When I tell you these next two stats, this is going to say something about the defense of the Oregon Ducks. And actually, I'm not even going to wait. I'm going to tell you now. Wisconsin has 116 yards of rushing offense and 145 passing yards, but they only have 29 yards of total offense. Now, what you guys may not remember, but in college football, the stats, when it comes to total offense, the sack yardage gets taken away from the total yards. So for them to have almost 271 yards worth of offense, but only to be credited with 29 yards worth of offense, that tells you something about the defense from the Oregon Ducks. The Oregon Ducks were up 35-0 at the half. How they do it? Well, it looks like they got 101 yards off the ground game, 3 TDs with that, 362 yards passing. They possessed the ball. On third down, they were 5 of 8, and they were 2 of 2 on fourth down. That tells you a story right there. While Wisconsin was 1 for 11 on third down. I don't know what else you need me to say, but domination, total domination, nothing but domination. As they say, you want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's what you got there. Before we jump into the final part of this show, let's give you a quick update of the Heisman race going into the final part of the schedule. And here we go. We just talked about Oregon, their dominant defense. Well, look who's in the top 5 for the Heisman race. We have their right outside linebacker, Deion Drogsma, a junior redshirt, killing it right now. Behind him, we have Alabama's Jose Prado. And then beneath him, we got Nick Ninehus from Oregon. So we got 2 defensive players from Oregon in the top 3 of the Heisman race. And we have 1 kid from Alabama. Needless to say, you just saw the stats. We just showed you the numbers. The numbers show that these kids are dominating on defense. Negative 39 yards in 2 weeks. One team has 251 and ends up with 28 total yards. Oregon, Alabama, defense matters. Defense matters, folks. I don't know what else to say to you. And with that being said, let's kick it real quick in the fan zone, Phil. And in the fan zone, when you jump into the fan zone, we get inside, in-depth observations of the ball game. And before I break even the game down, I'm going to show you the stats. I'm going to show you the numbers, and I'm going to tell you how we get there. I'm going to tell you how to get to Sesame Street. Maryland, 34. Penn State, 22. 365 yards of total offense for Maryland. 262 for Penn State. 156 rushing, 2 TDs. 102 for Penn State and 2 TDs. 209 yards passing for Maryland. 160 from Penn State. And as we say, let's tell you how we got there. Let's tell you how we ended up there. First couple notes. Turn the game on. I'm watching it probably about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Got my notepad. I'm taking notes. First 2 plays, first thought, because Maryland has the ball to open the ball game. Bettis is legit. Play design for UMD is phenomenal. Maryland comes down. I think it's a 4-play drive. Starts out 7-0. UMD design offense, incredible. First 15 is outrageous. They kick the ball off. Penn State comes out. Nice return. Guy almost breaks it for for a touchdown. First person we notice when Penn State comes out on offense is number 21. And we'll get to more information about number 21 because I got a lot of notes on number 21. My first note, Penn State, number 21, is a grown-ass man. This man was juking, running over people, hitting people. It was totally disrespectful. It looks like early at midfield, or just short of midfield, the Penn State Nittany Lions win for it on 4th and 3. First line I wrote, early dance with the devil, but it equals a conversion. Both OCs are coming up aces with their play calling. Both quarterbacks are dynamic. At this pace, the defensive coordinators may be job hunting in the offseason. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you these offenses were moving, these offenses were moving. Second drive, UMD, 4th and short. They come out in 5 wide. They get the first down. It looks like the tight end just posts up right behind the thing. It was a beautiful play call, and that play comes out several other times in this ball game. Later on the same drive, they hit a big play off of RPO, equals a touchdown. Maryland 14, Penn State 7. Penn State's second drive, they get a return out to the 22-yard line. And here we go again, number 21. But we know his name now. It's Mr. Cantwell. When we saw this team play, we saw a team with an identity. Maryland gets a good sack on first down. You're going to hear me say this a lot. Because Maryland, first down, I think they had 4 sacks on first downs in this ball game. But the thing about it, Penn State always came back and responded. It was like, all right, you got that, but here we go. And how did he respond? Well, he went to Mr. Cantwell. Mr. Cantwell gets the sack yardage back plus some, puts him in a nice 3rd and 2. We end the first quarter that way. Again, UMD, Maryland comes out on the next first down. They get another sack. But then the next play, Mr. Huntley, the quarterback for Penn State, he decides to use his legs. His legs are a major factor in this ball game. So after Huntley gets the ball within striking distance of a first down, they hit the tight end. Tight ends matter. All right. The tight ends in this ball game, they were crucial on several 3rd and shorts, 4th and shorts. They even made some big plays in this ball game. With that being said, it's 3rd and 1. We get a nice little conversion at the 3:17 mark. Then Cantwell. I don't know if you know the song, but what you won't do for love. Well, what he won't do for a great run. This kid takes it down close to the goal line. Then they decide to reward him for getting them into the field position, and they scored another touchdown. That brings us to 14-14, if memory serves me correctly. So we're at like the 2-minute mark in the second quarter. UMD goes driving, and they put it on it. The middle linebacker for Penn State has a great hit to set up a second down. The quarterback scrambles Bettis. He fumbles. And after the fumble recovery, you think Penn State has it because they got a guy right there. But unfortunately, Maryland's offensive lineman slides in, makes a great recovery, saves the drive. We get the 2-minute warning, and then here's my next note. Here's another note, and you're going to always hear me talking about the way Coach BJ sets up his offense. Play design matters. Big pass setup leads to a red zone attempt. We get a penalty on the next play. I think he set up like a RPO to the sideline and got a holding penalty. Quarterback scrambles. Then he tries to run the option on the next play. The option gets stopped. On 3rd and 4, the QB tries to run it again. He gets stopped. And then the QB finds redemption on 4th down. Bettis scores a touchdown, scores 21-14. We got halftime. And at this point, I say in my notes, all the pressure, because defenses haven't stopped anybody. All the pressure is on Penn State. Well, what does Penn State do? They take Mr. Huntley and Mr. Cantwell, and they come out and they start with a nice drive. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the third quarter starts, and let's see, nice strong out on first down. Oh, nice string out on first down for Maryland. And then here we go. Great pass on second down. Huntley with a nice pass to convert. They keep the drive going. Then they go back to the running game. They got a nice, efficient pass game. They keep the drive going. Then all of a sudden, something happens. And what happens? We get an INT. We get an INT, which turns into Maryland having the ball. They have a 3rd and 1. They get a great run. They convert. Their running back, Burns, puts them in the red zone. From that point on, UMD goes for broke, taking a profit. They get a TD pass. It's 28-14. Next question I ask, is this the kiss of death? Is this it? Is this it? Well, hey, another score in my thoughts. I think this takes Mr. Cantwell out of the ball game, and Penn State's going to have to rely on Huntley. Well, don't talk too fast because Mr. Huntley comes out, converts another great play, gets some of the first down. The very next first down, guess what happened? UMD gets a sack. Maryland, again, I told you, that's the 3rd sack on first down as we're going around. Then we get another Maryland sack, and we end the 3rd quarter. All right. Penn State's in a tough spot, 3rd and 28. We get another INT. Could be the kiss of death. How does Maryland react? Maryland coach, all gas, no brakes. Comes out taking a shot. I respect the man when he does that. Comes out with a first down run. I asked the question myself, does Maryland go for the kill? They take a shot. The shot they took was a good shot, but unfortunately, the DB was right there, puts a big hit on the receiver. Receiver drops the pass. The very next pass, Penn State with an interception. So we had 28-14. Penn State's on the move. Guess who they go to? That's right, Mr. Cantwell, which you won't do. Cantwell with another huge run to open the drive. PSU dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight. I'm sorry, wrong catchphrase for me. This time, Penn State is dancing with the girl they brought to the dance. And when I talk about the girl they brought to the dance, that's Mr. Cantwell. They get him involved in the passing game. They give him 2 early receptions to keep the drive going, but time is becoming a factor. There's a tough 2nd and 3 at the 50-yard line with 4 minutes and 39 seconds left in the 4th. UMD defense, again, on first down, they bring the pressure. Huntley responds, great pass, 4:06 left. We got the clock ticking late in the ball game. Penn State converts the 2-pointer after they score on the touchdown. 28-22. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a ball game, and turnovers matter. Bettis is driving – that's right. Pettis is driving the bus. They get a first down. They come back with a run from Kane with another first down. 2nd and 7, broken tackle, first down, 1st and 10. They get in the red zone. Then let's see, another stop. Big 3rd down, 3rd and 15, 2 minutes and 31 seconds left in the 4th. Better scrambles. Guess what we get? 4th and inches. Game on the line. I think with my thought process here, 4th and inches, I think BJ's going to come out 5 wide again, hit the tight end across the middle. Game's on the line. If they get this conversion, this is one of the big brass balls moments because it's 28-22 at this point. 2-minute warning. He hits a screen, ends up converting. Now we're down to 1:39. Maryland gets a touchdown, but they fail on the 2-point conversion, 34-22, folks. Penn State has the ball with 1:19. And with that being said, let's go back to it. 2 plays. They fail to convert on the 3rd down. Ball game is over. Penn State falls to 4-2. The Terps ride the bus. Bettis leads in 34-22. And that's how that ball game ends. And again, I'm going to show you the stats from that game. Hopefully all the stuff that I said in between paints a good picture for you. But this was a hell of a ball game. And I really thought if you take the INTs out of this ball game, we're hitting 50. Both teams aggressive. Both teams rely on the running game. Both teams have dynamic quarterbacks. I don't know what the following schedule comes up is, but we'll maybe post it in the group chat, let you guys know what games are coming up so you can try to watch or try to announce them on the page. With that being said, we've hit the fan zone. We're giving you the updates. We don't do overtime on this show, so we're going to get out of here pretty quick. But before that, again, I want to invite you, if you want an opportunity to play in this league, to jump in, join us. We having fun. Dude, we even created a podcast just so we can have some fun, just so we can just do something different. You know what I'm saying? If you want to play in the league, like I said, you want to smoke, we got the cigar and the lighter. This is the greatest fictitious college football show in the world, baby. It's the Gridiron, brought to you by the Midnight Rider, brought to you by the Sideline Junkies. With that being said, tonight we got the reaction show for the Elimination Chamber from the WrestleManiacs. Tomorrow morning, you get the Sunday Rise. Monday, you get Drive Time with Matty Ice. Tuesday, you get the Tuesday Night Flight. And in the Tuesday Night Flight, you get the JC Top 10. Wednesday, we got In the Passenger Seat. I think we're looking for a guest. We'll see how that plays out. Thursday, we got the Thursday Night Throwdown. And then after that, we come right back to here to start your week all over again with the greatest fictitious college football show in the world, Craig. In the world, Craig. With that being said, I'm the Midnight Rider. I thank you for your time and your viewing of our great show. Have a great evening. Enjoy the college basketball games on the day. And if you got sticks, pick them up and play some games, baby. Thank you. Have a great night. We out.